Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Politics on the Hindu's YouTube channel. I'm the paper's political editor, Nistula Hebbar, and as usual, I will be taking you through some of the biggest developments in domestic politics in India this week. Now, this week we shall be going to the state of Maharashtra and discussing the implications of the decision taken by the Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly, Rahul Narwekar, on not disqualifying MLAs belonging either to the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, which is considered now technically the real Shiv Sena, and also MLAs from the Uddhav Thackeray faction after the parties split. Hello again. Now, this story with regard to the Shiv Sena and the disqualification petition and everything is a complicated one, or shall we say, one with a lot of historical baggage. Now, let's then begin with, as usual, going to the beginning and the background, getting the background of how this petition for disqualification, these two petitions actually, were filed. Now, the year was 2019 and the BJP Shiv Sena alliance, which is called the Mahayuti, won the elections, Maharashtra Assembly elections, which usually happens in the same year as the general elections. So 2019, we had the Lok Sabha elections, and in September, October, we had polls to the Maharashtra Assembly. At that time, BJP and Shiv Sena went ahead with a pre-poll NDA alliance, the Mahayuti, together. And the NCP Congress was the other alliance facing off with them. And that alliance won the election fair and square. So the BJP won 105 seats and the Shiv Sena won 56 seats out of a total number of 288 seat assembly. So they had a comfortable majority on their own. But very, very soon, in fact, within a couple of days of this result coming out, things turned turtle for the alliance. Now, Shiv Sena leader Uddhav Thackeray said that he had been promised, or the Shiv Sena had been promised, the Chief Minister's position by the BJP if the alliance came to power. BJP strongly denied it, including some very public interviews given by Home Minister Amit Shah, who was party president at that time. And he said, he had just kind of given up on being party president, but, the alliance and everything had been continuing. Talks had been done with him in the room. So he very clearly said that no such promise had been made. Now, in this fight, Uddhav Thackeray decided to walk out with the Shiv Sena from the NDA government, leaving BJP with 105 MLAs in a 288-member assembly, and signed up with a new alliance that he, the Nationalist Congress Party and the Congress Party forged together, which was the Maha Vikas Aghadi. And all three parties together had enough to kind of form the government and win a vote of confidence. And basically, they managed to keep the BJP out of power in Maharashtra. Now, the next move on this chessboard occurs on 21st June 2022, when the current Chief Minister of Maharashtra and then a minister in the Uddhav Thackeray government, in the MVA government, in fact, basically just walks out along with other MLAs belonging to the Shiv Sena. First, they fly down to Surat, and from there they go to Guwahati, where some more MLAs join this group, the Ginger Group, which basically turned out to be a large number of MLAs at the end of it. Well, he started with 11 MLAs, and then this grew to more than 35 MLAs in Guwahati. And there was an uproar because nobody knew, even though the police and the security services in the state, law and order, etc., was controlled by the MVA government. Nobody in that government had any clue that such a large number of MLAs were taking a private flight to Surat, and from there they had flown off to Guwahati. So a lot of things happened, but of course, the substantive part of it was that Eknath Shinde walked out of that government, rebelled against the Shiv Sena. He said that the Shiv Sena, as a part of the MVA, as an ally of the Congress, which the Shiv Sena had fought of all of its political life, was a betrayal of the ideals of Balasaheb Thackeray. And secondly, he was also extremely miffed by the fact that the NCP had a large amount of power, large amount of say in the government, MVA government. Shiv Sena had basically just got the CM ship and was asked to sit tight, according to Eknath Shinde. And of course, importance being given to Aditya Thackeray and his ideas over that of experienced satraps in the Shiv Sena like himself. Now, all of this meant that the Shiv Sena had effectively split, and Uddhav Thackeray, perceiving that he had lost the numbers game on the floor of the House, resigned. That, of course, would come back and bite him later in the Supreme Court case, but much of that later in the program. He did try to regain the control of the party and the symbol, that is the name and the symbol, because in India, all parties have symbols, because in the beginning there was high rates of illiteracy and lack of political education. So a lot of people may not know parties, but they may recognize parties through their symbols, and therefore it was considered important. So the symbols became extremely important, party symbols, and it had its own kind of, following. And the name of the party, of course, always very important. So Uddhav Thackeray moved the ECI, and he said, look, party may have split, but I'm the real Shiv Sena. But he lost those battles as well. Now, Eknath Shinde was made Chief Minister with Devendra Fadnavis as his deputy, with much heartburn in the Maharashtra unit of the BJP. But such as it was, the Delhi unit, the national unit, had taken a decision that a Maratha leader like Eknath Shinde should be the Chief Minister of the NDA government in Maharashtra. Now, later with the split in the Nationalist Congress Party, with Ajit Pawar walking out on his uncle Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar also joined the NDA government. Now, after Shinde's rebellion, the Uddhav Thackeray camp passed a resolution removing the chief whip, and people who had basically left along with Eknath Shinde, and appointed Sunil Prabhu as the chief whip of the legislature party. The position of the chief whip is extremely important in the legislature party. He whips up the vote for government bills, and if a whip has been issued, that the party will vote in a certain way on a certain bill. And if it is found that an MLA has digressed, or certain people have, the chief whip has can take action against the MLA, and can in fact file disqualification petitions, etc. Now, after Sunil Prabhu was announced as chief whip, the Shinde camp appointed Bharat Sheth Gogawale as the new chief whip from their side. And Rahul Narwekar, he was elected speaker after the formation of the Sena BJP government. And he recognized Gogawale as the chief whip of the Sena, because obviously he also came from the same camp. Now, following this, the Uddhav camp filed a disqualification petition against 40 MLAs of the Eknath Shinde camp. And the Shinde camp in return filed petitions against 14 legislators of the Uddhav camp, saying, we are the real Shiv Sena. These 14 guys are the ones who kind of basically left us. We had decided to go one way, and these guys didn't want to come with us. So they are the ones who have to be sitting out. Now, all of these things reached the Supreme Court, and then finally last year, the Supreme Court entrusted the Speaker of the Assembly to decide the disqualification petitions of the MLAs, 34 in total from both the Sena camps. So some things moved around, and then the number came down to 34. So that is from both the camps. And the last date for deciding on these petitions was January 10th, extended to January 11th. So all of these developments then took place, and of course the heat was on the Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly. Now, basically what he decided on was which constitution of the Shiv Sena will be given importance. Will the legislative party leader be given importance, or the party pramukh be given importance, etc. There were all these kind of technical sort of aspects that weighed in on the decision that he made, that Mr. Narwekar made. And he also basically referred to what the Election Commission had done, which was he recognized the 1999 Constitution of the Sena, not the 2018, in which the concentration of power in the hands of the party chief was removed. And he basically recognized the Shinde faction as the real Shiv Sena. He de-recognized Sunil Prabhu as the chief whip, and he dismissed the petitions for disqualifications, not just for the Shinde faction, but also the 14 Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray faction MLAs. Now, reactions to this, of course, flew thick and fast, with Uddhav Thackeray deciding to move court again on the issue. Mr. Rahul Narwekar will have the uneasy task of deciding a similar case regarding the split between the Nationalist Congress Party before long. But these are not the most important kind of reactions or implications coming out of these set of events. Now, polls for the Lok Sabha are due in April, May this year, as I said, and Maharashtra Assembly, again, as I told you, will take place a little later. Now, quite frankly, with both the Shiv Sena and the Nationalist Congress Party being split, this is going to be a really, really epoch-making election in terms of looking at vote share, looking at support bases. Will it change our fixed ideas of who votes for whom and how our votes kind of mobilized, loyalty, a dynasty, inheritance and legacy? Now, these are all questions that are going to be kind of decided in these elections. Now, with 48 seats, Maharashtra has the second largest number of Lok Sabha seats after Uttar Pradesh, which has around 80. Now, during the 2019 Lok Sabha seat polls, the BJP had performed very well, winning 23 out of the 25 seats it contested with Shiv Sena, and the Shiv Sena had won 18. So between the two of them, they had won a lion's share, more than 40 seats in the I think 41 seats out of 48 in the fray in Maharashtra. And the Nationalist Congress Party split with the larger faction of around 30 NCP MLAs are joining, who have joined with the BJP, and the Sharad Pawar faction, which is with the opposition. All of this is going to be adding to the mix. So those 8 seats which were won by the opposition, who's going to get them? What are the claims that are going to be exercised when people talk alliance and seat distribution? Now, added to all of this is the Maratha reservation agitation led by Manoj Patil. Many episodes of Talking Politics having been made on this issue. There is a Maratha reservation issue. There is an OBC backlash against it led by NCP leader and Minister Chhagan Bhujbal. Now, the OBCs are a catchment area for votes for the BJP in Maharashtra, whereas the NCP and Mr. Shinde himself, Eknath Shinde himself, a Maratha, invoke the community's votes. The fact that the tallest Maratha leader of the state, Sharad Pawar, is in the opposition camp complicates the election contest further. To have gotten the decision it did, the Shiv Sena Shinde faction and the BJP, which engineered the split, has got an important victory in terms of the perception battle. As I said, this is going to be an election which will decide legacy and inheritance and who speaks for whom, who do people support, and the sympathy factor. Now, to have lost the petition would have strengthened Uddhav Thackeray's case that he represented the real Shiv Sena. Already, Uddhav Thackeray has some sympathy on the ground over the split. Now, this would have really strengthened that feeling. The BJP therefore feels happy that a morale sapping decision did not come their way. Now, the Lok Sabha elections that we have been speaking about, now that will also more or less be fought on the name of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, but the assembly elections will be the one that will see whether this sympathy factor over the Sena split has lodged in the consciousness of the people. Same with the NCP split, uncle versus nephew, the daughter in the mix, who claims the Maratha legacy in that party. All of that, where the betrayed inheritor, the satrap who felt he was overlooked and ideologically betrayed. This is going to be a very, very emotional election, the assembly elections of Maharashtra. So all of these things will pan out, and also the personal ambitions of the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde and his two very, very powerful deputies, Devendra Fadnavis of the BJP and Ajit Pawar of the NCP. Now, till now, Mr. Shinde has the upper hand, not just because he won the day on January 10th, but even before that, with his handling of the Maratha agitation and his reservation stir, he emerged as a peacemaker, Despite his politically formidable deputies, all the decisions taken by both the ECI and by the Speaker of the Maharashtra Assembly will have to, of course, wash up against the court of public opinion, aka elections. In that, the last word has not yet been spoken, and for that, we will await the verdict at the hustings. For now, of course, this is all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching.